Germaine De Randamie. See,
See this? You just screwed up.
I am. I'm like,
But-
Germaine De Randamie Ding Dong. That's what we say at home. So,
They basically stripped her of the title.
yes, I do.
Did you see? Did you hear the news?
I did, and I
What?
read her statement as well.
What'd you think of it?
I
What
have-
is the statement? Why don't you read a little
Well,
bit of
all
it?
right. So
I
the
could.
statement that I saw.
I
on
think the world
Instagram-
wants to know in case they did. Me and you read it.
Yes, you want me to read it?
Well, Chris, the producer, read it. But the world might. What'd she
Okay.
say?
She says, as many of you know, the UFC has stripped me of my belt. For those of us who do not know what that means, the UFC has removed my title because I refuse to fight against the #1 challenger, Cyborg. I have my reasons for that. It's great to hear this news from the media, and I'm sorry that it went that way, but it is what it is. Well, I hear you saying or thinking she's scared. What a bad champion. A shame for the sport. She did not deserve to be a champion, etc., etc. I've seen it all over the place. But apart from what everyone thinks, I'm walking my own path. And let me see. And you can agree or not agree. Getting stripped does not mean I'm going to stop. This only means that I have even more reason to fight for what I stand for and what I want. The UFC is not long for me.
I don't know what the hell that means.
I don't know
I
what
think
that
that might
means
be a
either.
trans. What is that, Chris, the producer?
Yeah, well, I had to translate it because she wrote it
Okay.
in Dutch on her Instagram, so that's as good as it could get, I think.
Okay, well, she ends it with, it's easy to stand with the crowd. It takes courage to stand alone. So I get what she's saying. She's basically saying, like, she really refuses to fight Cyborg because of the steroid incident, right?
Yeah.
That's her whole thing. And that she wants to stand up for what she believes in. And maybe that's going against steroids in sports and blah, blah, blah. I don't know if... I mean, you gotta fight the contender.
Like
yeah, I mean, you
Phoenix.
can make a stand, but you can't...
Phoenix, they basically made that division for Cyborg.
Right.
She's not making 135, and she's just an incredible fighter, incredible female fighter that just was not making that weight class. They basically... So, I mean, my thing is, Germaine must have known, even though she didn't have to fight to get that title, she fought Holly Holm for that title, she'd have to know she's going to be fighting Cyborg sooner or later. I mean, what are you thinking? Like, my thing is, like, are you, like, shocked that they're saying, all right, now it's Cyborg. Oh, I'm not fighting her. What? I don't know. I always fought whoever they put in front of me. And there was never one time I called back Joe Silva, like, I'm not sure about BJ Penn. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're a fighter, I mean, I don't know. You can't trust that. You have to try. And now they got USADA involved.
Yeah.
You should be. I don't know. I mean, I don't really have much to say about this. She says she has her reasons. Well, why don't you state them?
But you don't work in that area of the sport. You work in the area of the sport that you're a fighter. What you do is you fight. So what you can do is you can take a stand against steroids by always being a clean athlete and by destroying somebody who you think, okay, you're on steroids and I'm going to fight you anyway. And whatever. I don't know. I really don't know. I like her and I respect her a lot. I've seen a lot of her fights, especially when she was a kickboxer, and I follow kickboxing. And I know that Michael Bisping was very pissed because people were comparing the two as far as like not
what's that
fighting
about?
the next contender. Well, they were comparing the thing because when Bisping got the belt, he immediately fought Dan Henderson.
Yeah.
He didn't fight the next contender. But I think that I give Bisping a little bit of a pass because Bisping fought everybody.
Exactly
He's
what I was
not
about
my
to
favorite
say.
guy. He's not my favorite, but he fought everybody. He took his losses. He won that belt legitimately.
Yeah.
And
in a fight, I was there for both of those fights. And when he first fought Luke Rockhold made it look easy.
Yeah.
And I was there for that. And for him to take that fight on short notice versus a guy that stopped him, finished him, made him tap, make him say uncle, and go in there and beat him. Hey, man, listen, the guy, he took something where the first fight wasn't even really that competitive.
No.
And he went in there to stop him that second fight. Dude, and he's been in the sport for how long? He's been in the UFC for how long? He has fought everybody. They fought everybody. Not for nothing. Dan Henderson, that's another guy. That guy, that's still a highlight reel. That was one of the most brutal stoppages.
Right.
And he came back to fight that guy and beat that guy in a hell of a
and
fight.
he got hurt, and he still came back to beat him.
I mean, I was fine with them making the Dan Henderson fight. I'm fine with them making the GSP fight. The guy put his time in.
That one, but
you know what? People talk about, and I'm sure we'll talk about it too. They want to see Conor. It is a different thing, obviously. But it's a hyped up fight. The Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather. Man, I would rather watch Michael Bisping versus GSP. I'm an MMA fan, but that fight interests me. George St. Pierre, yeah, he's coming back. He's cutting the line. That guy, when's the last time that guy lost? Oh, I'm sorry.
2007?
Yeah, I got excited for myself. Anyway. But, you know, so it's like that guy ran the division, defended the title how many times, you know, avenged his only losses.
Well, there's certain things that are deserved because of somebody's resume, right? There's certain things that happen because they're what people want to see. They're competitive matchups. They're considered super fights. I see where there's little like things that are exceptions to the rule, but those exceptions to the rule are often deserved. Okay, we'll say that. Okay, Dan Henderson, Michael Bisping, 2 veterans. It was a competition. It was a big. I get that. But yeah, you've got to fight. You've got to fight who they put in front of you. You really, really do.
Hey, enough for nothing. Michael Bisping was never. I mean, he said, "Hey, as long as I'm not, you know," he said, "no injuries. If this GSP fight, he'd be willing to fight like 6 weeks after or something." So, I had no problem with Michael Bisping. It's not the same thing. He's fought everybody. Germaine has not. And Germaine's a big chick. It's not like she's a little girl. I mean, she's a powerful striker.
Very.
So why would she not want to fight Cyborg? I'm not into that. Like, I don't listen.
And
she
sometimes
knew fighting for that title that's Cyborg's weight. So you know, why are you wasting people's time?
You're gonna cross paths. Well, she's gonna go back to 135, and we'll see what happens. But you know, Cyborg's fighting for that title that's vacant right now anyway.
Right. Well, you know, I couldn't imagine that if Holly had won the title, that it would be the same situation. Holly would, I'm sure, get in there and
Holly's fighting her.
Right.
Katzagano's fighting her. That's the difference.
You know what's awesome? When Holly won, I love when Holly does this. Like, Holly wins, and she has this in-your-face moment, because she doesn't behave like that. Yeah. So she just stomps around the ring like a 6-year-old. And I don't mean the immature, just, you know, when little kids like.
She's when it finally gets done, it's she's so happy. Then you see her. She's pacing around.
Yeah.
I said it before. You see her before the fight. I'm getting exhausted. I'm like, I see her bouncing back and forth. I'm like, holy, she does not stop.
Yeah.
She does. It's great, man. It's all those running in the hills in Albuquerque. But she's got some endurance. But man, she's a badass. I love watching her fight. I do. And again, that girl's up for she's fighting anybody. But I was gonna also say, you heard about Sage Northcutt's getting a new opponent now.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, John McDessie. Yeah.
McDessie, yeah.
McDessie, I'm saying that right. That's an easy one to say. He's a tough dude. He's a well-rounded guy.
McDessie's
He's been in some battles.
Dude, but he has a problem with kickers. He does have a problem with kickers because...
Tell me about that.
Cerrone, head kick.
Yeah.
I forget the name of one of the last guys he fought, but it was a wheel kick. So there's he's had some issues with some kickers.
I mean, not for nothing. Cerrone... You could see Cerrone's kicking people in the head that deal with leg kicks too. So I mean, it's not, you might have to give him a pass with that.
All right, I'll say that.
You know, that guy's. I mean, Sage's game, and he's on his. What I worry about Sage is when he's on the floor.
Like, it was Lando Venata with the wheel kick.
Lando, that's right. Lando Calrissian. I mean, I'm sure he gets that joke a lot.
Lando's landing a lot of shit, man. Lando's got some. I want to see that. Where's that guy? I want to see that guy back. He lost a tough one with who did he just fight? Who did he just fight and lose to?
Jesus, I can't.
Right?
He's Swedish. Yeah, I can't think of his name right now. David Tamor.
Yeah, you got it. I'm telling you, good. Chris is good.
You know what's a little troublesome for me is that Sage Northcutt is 21, and I feel like not just a man, but there's like 3 different maturities that you go through. You go through your like 15, 16-year-old whatever age you go through puberty.
Yeah.
Then it's different at 18, right? Now you're a little bit more of a man. And then at 25, you got more muscle mass. Then you're like man. So like 25-year-old strength and like 18 to 20-something-year-old strength doesn't seem the same, no?
I got a question.
Yeah, how do I know this? I have 3 brothers.
No, that's not the question.
Okay, then what's the question?
We're talking about the different stages of life.
Yeah.
What stage of life were you in when you got your tramp stamp? Yes.
See, this is why. This is why I don't like to be good friends with Matt Serra, because I tell him things in confidence.
Well, I never know. I never knew you had one. You said that before air, and I go, stop.
All right.
I go, don't even tell me. She was about to tell me and Chris, the producer. I'm telling the people at home. She's like, oh, that's like when I got that tramp stamp, back in the. I go, wait. I never.
That's how you know you're over 30 if you have a tramp stamp or a tribal.
Well, what's
stamp.
great about that is that you're not a tramp.
No.
Okay, because listen, you're a very respectable girl. You're not like that, but you do have a tramp stamp.
Yes, I do.
That's all right. Frank Trigg had one too.